Hi everyone, I'm Nancy at Sew Cozy Stitching. Welcome to my channel. This is my channel about cross stitch, which I will show you today, and a couple of other projects that I have worked on since I've last seen you, and a couple of quilts today. I don't have a whole lot of stitching because I binded some quilts and one of them was really big and it just wore me out, and I just sat down at night and didn't feel like stitching. Plus, I've been spending some time out in my yard to get it finished. I think we are about done. Anyway, and I'm not filming outside. I really wanted to, but my husband is home and he's outside doing some yard work, and because he has an unexpected vacation this week. So, long story, but anyway, his truck that he normally drives is in the shop getting fixed, and so he decided that this would be a good week to take some vacation time and get a few things done around the house. All right, let's jump into what I've got. Oh, and at towards the end I will do the giveaway for the two magazines that I showed you last week. All right, first thing I did is I finished this today. I only have one finish, and it is Little House Needleworks. It's the monthly ones. You buy the charts, or you buy the thread packs, and you get the charts. You get 2 of the month charts in with the thread packs. And I finished this up this morning. This is my morning stitch. It is stitched on a random piece of 14 count Aida that I grit dyed kind of a yellow with just a little touch of an orange in there, but it's mostly like a buttery yellow. And I haven't fully finished this because I just barely got it done this morning, but these are kind of the contenders for the fabric to put around them. I haven't decided which one for sure yet. I'm really kind of leaning towards the blue, I think, but we'll see. And I make these into little mini quilts that I hang by my front door. So there's finish number 1, or only finish. All right, the other thing I worked on was my Sheep Virtues by Little House Needleworks. And those were actually my focus piece, one of the focus pieces that I chose for the month of May, and I really, really want to get these done. I don't know. Not doing a lot of stitching last week really set me behind because I was hoping to have a couple more of these done, but this one is Joyfulness. And I showed this last week. I think I had the sheep done, and maybe part of the tree, I think. So I am really close to a finish on this. I just need to finish up this red border, and then there's a green border, and then there's a few snowflakes go on there. This is being stitched on 18 count Vintage Country Mocha. I stitched 6 of them on 14 count Vintage Country Mocha, and I'm stitching 6 of them on 18 count because of how I want to finish them. So another evening and this one will be done, maybe tonight. We'll see. I have grandkids tonight, and I promised them we would sit out by the fire pit and make s'mores, so we'll see. All right, and then, ow. Why do they call it a funny bone? Because it's not funny when you hit your funny bone. Okay, so the next thing I worked on is on Tuesday, the 11th, I had a new start because we had a family holiday. It's my grandson's first birthday. And so I decided to start Little House Needleworks, The Farmer's Daughter. And I am stitching this on, this is where I got to. I am stitching this on a piece of Rit dyed 14 count Aida. I think it's Rit dyed. I think this is the one that I did in denim. Oh, I don't know. I either did it in, I dipped it in evening blue and then quickly dipped it in denim, or this is the one that's just denim. I can't remember. I did 2 of them at the same time. And that's where I got to. So I'm using most of the called for DMC colors. Actually, all of this is the called for DMC colors. And yeah, that's where I got to, just working on it that one day. All right, and then yesterday I had a new start because it was my daughter's birthday and it was also my granddaughter's birthday. And when there's double days like that, I still only start one thing. I don't start 2. I would have had time yesterday to start 2 anyway. But this is what I started. So Sisters by Plum Street. This one, I am changing up all of the colors. And I've just picked some colors that I want to use in it. And I can't even tell you my conversion yet because I don't know. Other than what I've stitched. This is what I got done yesterday. So I changed, these are going to be tomatoes. And I changed them to 817. And then this is the beginning of the basket, and I changed it to 434. So some of like the reds, I'm keeping red. I've just changed it into a different color. The call for this one, oh no, the call for color, I'm trying to think here. I think the call for color, it was a really rust color. The call for DMC was a really rust color. And I wanted my tomatoes to be bright. This is being stitched on a piece of 14 count Dapple by Picture This Plus. So love it. This was a lot of fun to work on last night. So excited to get back to that one. And that is all of the stitching I have done this week. That's it. Not a whole lot. Because actually I only stitched 1, 2, since my last video, 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Since my last video. It's not much. All right, I'm sorry. I'm looking at my book of days. So I kind of keep notes of what I work on for that day. These are, if you haven't seen how I do this, so I write my focus pieces for the month, which is always a whip, an older whip that I pull out. Then I have my morning stitch, and then I have my new starts for each of the holidays. I had a lot of holidays this month. Wow. Yeah. And I still have one more to go because Memorial Day. And then right down here, I write my finishes for the month. And then as I finish them, I also highlight them. So that's how I work on that. So when I keep looking over, this is what I'm referring to because it gives me my list of what I've done for the week. All right, so the next thing I want to show you. So I bought some fabric, some quilting fabric. And with the quilting fabric, there was a matching panel. Now most panels come with like a big scene on them, and you really can't cut them up. But this one, it actually had 6 different pictures on this panel. And when I saw the panel, my first thought was, oh, those would be really cute as project bags. So I made project bags. Oh, did I make project bags? So this is what I did Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, I cut them out, quilted them, cut all the fabric for them, and then yesterday I sat down and did like an assembly line, and I sewed them all together. So I'm going to show you what I did. This is the first one. So this was the panel, And there was a lot of white space on this one. And I really didn't want all that white space, so I cut it way down, and then I just added some fabric to the sides of it. Same fabric I put on the back. And the insides are going to be a surprise because some have 2 or 3 different colors inside, but I just used that one for the inside. That was pretty. It kind of matches that yellow. And then did a yellow zipper. That's the first one I did. And then I did this one. Isn't that cute? So this was the panel, the front. And then that was the back fabric. Now when I picked fabric for these, I just went through my fabric stash and picked out just fun prints that kind of went with it. I mean, it does because it's got this blue and there's blue in here. But I also, when I went through my fabric, I didn't pick big pieces of fabric. I picked some of the smaller pieces of fabric. So I wouldn't have a lot of waste or, you know, a lot of extra. And this one I just did a blue polka dot and a blue zipper. So there you go. Right, the next one. Now this one's a little bit wonky. It's not actually too straight. I had realized when I cut it, I should have followed the cut lines, and so then I went and trimmed it off, but then it was even more crooked. So actually this one's a little bit not as wide as the other bags. I thought this would be fun to put all of my strawberry charts in. And then the fabric for the back. Did a red zipper. And this one has a couple of different fabrics inside. So it's got that one and that one. This is like a pink. Cute. Love them. And then this one, Wild Honey. I thought this one would be fun to put bee projects in, charts with bees. And this is the fabric I chose for the back. And I put a bright pink zipper in this one. And then I just lined it with the same fabric. There's that one. All right, and then there's this one. And the fabric for the back. And I put a green zipper in this one. And then I just lined it with some blue flower. Blue fabric with flowers. Now these ones, they go up and down. So if you put a chart in here, you know, they will fit in a regular, you know, they'll fit like a regular size chart. Plus my Q-snaps and my threads and all the fun stuff that goes in there. There's that one. And then this one. This one would be cute to put your strawberries in or your bees in, whatever. Lined it with that, or backed it with that one. This one, I thought it'd be fun. I put an orange zipper in it. And then the inside is red and then another red. So those were from the panel. So there were six panels. I got 6 project bags out of them. All right, the other thing I have is, I think a while back on my video I showed you my American Gatherings fabric by Primitive Gatherings, and it's just a very gorgeous Americana fabric. Well, anyway, I had bought a mini charm pack, which are 2.5-inch squares, and so I made a project bag out of them. And so I used the majority of them down here, and then I had 7 left, so I just did the top. I just pieced them together and did the top. And then this is the fabric for the back. And if you'll notice, I cut my fabric wrong. And I don't know, oh, I know what I did. When I measured it to cut it, I measured it off this front part, just below the zipper. And then, but I needed to have it longer because I needed to include the 2.5 inches. So I just ended up sewing it together. It's not going to matter. And then the inside fabric is, this zipper I sewed on kind of funky. Just some scrap fabric I had. So anyway, and then this one, so you can see the difference on the two. You know, one goes up and down, and then the other goes across. But they're the same size. If you put them like this, they're the same size. So anyway, that took up my Saturday and Sunday, so that's why I didn't get a whole lot of stitching done also. Okay, so I'm going to do the drawing for the magazines, and then I'm going to show you the 2 quilts that I made, and then we'll be done. So this is going to be a short video because there wasn't a lot to show you today. All right, so I did the random comment picker. It was for these 2 magazines. So there's 2 magazines. And I did the random comment picker. And the word I asked you to use was primitive. And so I did the picker before I started the video. And so the winners of the magazines is Brandy Stoker. And Brandy, I know I've had your address before, but I'm not sure that I still have it. So please email me. I'll put my email below, and I will, or you can message me on Instagram. So whichever way you prefer. Email me with your address and let me know that you have won one of the magazines, and give me your address. The other winner was Grandma Starbuck. Awesome name. Grandma Starbuck. So you are the other winner of the magazine. So just get me your address through Instagram or email, and I will get these out in the mail. Okay, so you ready? Sorry, I have to reach because they're kind of behind me. Okay, so the first one I finished. This was a sew along I did with Fat Quarter Shop last July for their Jolly July. They offered a free pattern, and they released a part of the pattern every week in July. So there was like four or 5 parts. I can't remember. Anyway, and the premises of this was it was supposed to be, when it was all done, it was supposed to look like a giant snowflake, right? Okay. Remember that. I'll step back, see if I can get this all in. Now, I did mine wrong, of course. And I chose to do mine patriotic because even though it was supposed to be a snowflake, I wanted mine patriotic because it was July. All of the fabric I used was from my stash, with the exception of the white. I did have to go buy some of that, and it's white, it's tone on tone, it just has stars all over it. Anyway, so it's supposed to be a giant snowflake, and I will take a picture and put it on Instagram. But I call this quilt my not a snowflake quilt. Okay, so when I was putting, let me see, this corner block. So this was one block. right here was one, okay, right here. So this right here was all one block. And I think that was the first week. And I put it together, so it's all together. And then I did week 2 and week 3, and then I laid them out, because then you could start to see the snowflake form. And I laid it out, and I thought, that does not look right. Sorry. And so I got looking at the pattern again, and I had messed up how I put this whole block together. But the good thing is I did all 4 of them wrong. So, because there was 4 corners, and I did all 4 corners wrong. So I thought, you know what? It doesn't matter, because if I was to take this block to fix what I had done wrong, I would have literally had to take every single piece apart to fix it. And so I decided to leave it. So anyway, the reason it's not a snowflake quilt is because I posted it on Facebook, in Fat Quarter Shop's Facebook group. And I had one lady that, and I had mentioned, oh, you know, I messed up, but I messed up on all 4 the exact same way, so I'm not taking it out, and I like how it is anyway. I had a lady actually private message me and get really snotty with me and told me it is not a snowflake. You need to take it apart and you need to do it right, because it is not a snowflake. I'm like, really? Anyway, I just kindly messaged her back and said, it's my quilt, and I took the creative liberty of doing it how I wanted. And I says, and it's 4th of July fabric, so it doesn't need to be a snowflake. Can you believe that? Anyway, so all done. It's I did the binding, and then I just backed it with flannel. And I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell. There you go. My quilter put stars and just loop-de-loops on it for me. So anyway, there's my, it's not a snowflake quilt. And I love it. It's not a big quilt. Oh, and I did, the other thing I want to say is at the very end, there was, because I think there was 4 designers that each did a week. And then at the end, I'm going to say laundry basket quilts. I can't say her name. Edith Satar, I think is her name. She had some a couple of different ways to do border so that you can make it a little bit bigger. So I did the star border, and somehow my stars didn't come out right, and so one wouldn't fit here for some reason. I'm not sure why. So I just chose to do just a patch. Anyway, so I did add the extra border on to make it bigger, so it is a lap size quilt. And I will put a picture of this on Instagram if I haven't already. If I have already, it will be, you might have to scroll down to see it. But if I haven't, I will put a picture of Instagram on Instagram so you can see the whole thing. All right, the last thing is my humongous quilt. This is the quilt for my dad that I made for my dad. This is one that made me so tired I couldn't stitch at night. It is huge. All I did is took 10-inch blocks, 10-inch stacker, or they call them layer cakes, and just sewed them together. Just randomly placed them together. And since it was such a simple quilt, I kind of did a little bit fancier quilting, and my quilter do a little bit fancier quilting on it. You can see it. And this one, I just had, oh, let's see. Let me find a corner here. I don't want to unfold it all the way because it's really heavy. Okay, this one I just did a flannel on the back. Oh look, you can see, isn't that pretty? And then I just used the same flannel to do the binding. So anyway, and this one is on Instagram. I put it on Instagram this week when I got it finished. So you can go on there and see it. All right, I think I'm done. So thanks for joining me. I will, you probably will be seeing this on Tuesday, the 18th, but because I'll have to upload it tonight. And I will be back next Monday. Hopefully we can do it outside. So until next time, have a good week and happy stitching. Bye.